Over the weekend, my cold and aloof boss, Gu Jinkun, sent me a message. Send me the contract before 3 p.m. today. Deliver it to the Le Pont Hotel in City. I looked out the window at the rain pouring down like a torrent, then irritably texted him back. It's raining heavily here. Is it raining heavily where you are too? Who would have thought that because of the heavy rain, the signal was poor and my first message didn't go through? On the other end, after hesitating for a moment, my boss finally replied. Want to see? It was the weekend. I was sitting cross-legged, lounging on the sofa watching a movie when my phone screen suddenly lit up with a message from Gu Jinkons. Send me the contract before 3 p.m. today. Deliver it to Le Pont Hotel in City. Unmoved, I turned my head to glance at the torrential rain outside the window, then angrily tossed my phone onto the coffee table. Is there some kind of misunderstanding? It's the weekend, it's raining so hard, and you're asking me to bring the contract all the way to City. Besides, isn't the employees' network separate from yours? Boo-hoo! Frustrated and pulling at my hair, I picked up the phone again and sent Gu Jinkos a message, trying to awaken the conscience of this cruel capitalist. Miss CEO, it's raining heavily here. Is it raining heavily over there? What I meant was, with such heavy rain, going outside would surely drench me. Can you take pity on me just this once? Maybe I could send it tomorrow instead. After sending the message, I sat tensely on the sofa staring at the phone screen. Professionally, Gu Jinkos was very strict and quite indifferent. I wasn't sure if he understood my hint. Should I make my message more direct? After thinking it over, I decided against it. I didn't want to get scolded. More than 10 minutes later, a notification popped up. Want to see? My head was full of question marks. What did he mean? Did he want to send me a photo of the rain? That's unnecessary. Ha! Capitalists are always so strange. I wasn't about to be outdone. I boldly sent a rejection. No need, monsieur, if it's really heavy. I won't be able to make it there. I'm not very skilled. This time, Gu Jinklos replied quickly. You prefer light rain? Oh, is this guy crazy? Who wants heavy rain that forces you out into the storm? Seriously, speechless. Outside, the strong rain slammed against the window with a thunderous roar. Large raindrops pelted the glass like arrows. My goodness, the scene was terrifying. I angrily tapped the screen. If it's too heavy, then no way. With my poor skills, I'd be dead. Gu Jinkos isn't that much of a show-off. I'd be careful, just lightly laughing myself to death. I'm the one driving on the road here. What good does it do if he's being careful? What's wrong with this ruthless capitalist's head? Truly wicked to the core. It was a waste back then. I even liked him. Few in the company knew Gu Jinkos was my high school classmate. He was known as a model student, excellent grades, and an even better family background. Not only that, he was handsome. Whenever he appeared on the basketball court, a crowd of female students surrounded him cheering. Gu Jinkos wore a red basketball jersey. His muscular arms exposed with defined lines. When he exerted force, his alluring blue veins popped up. The ball soared smoothly into the hoop as he smiled slightly and gave high fives to his teammates. Suddenly, my heart skipped a beat. A female classmate standing nearby excitedly commented, Gu Jinkos looks just like Liu Fanning. So tall. I totally adore Liu Fanning. I immediately wrote him a letter. I carefully selected a beautifully decorated envelope and even spritzed it lightly with perfume. The next day, I deliberately wandered near his classroom and saw the trash bin behind the room filled with many bright pink envelopes. My face turned pale. Xiao Ranhok, sitting at the end of the row, was eating an apple. Seeing me standing still staring at the trash bin, he curiously asked, Sir Ran, what are you looking at? Are those letters Gu Jinkos threw away? Why do you look so bad? Zhang Hawk frowned, looking mischievous. Ah, I know. Is your love letter among them? No way. A good student like you falling in love so early. His voice was loud, and just a few words turned half the class to look at us. I was angry and embarrassed. Snapping at Zhang Hawk, are you crazy? Who likes Gu Jinkos? I'm not interested in him at all. After that, I turned and ran away only to bump right into a boy's chest. His firm chest made my nose ache. I covered my nose with my hand and looked up at a sharp jawline. Strong features, thin, seductive lips, long black eyes, and arrogantly arched eyebrows. Damn, it was Gu Jinkos. Embarrassed beyond words, I quickly covered my face with both hands, slipped past him, and ran off. My love letter, judging from this? Gu Jinkos probably didn't bother reading it and just threw it away. This upset me for a long time. Looking back now, well, better to be near the fragrant than the rotten. Back in high school, Gu Jinkle's indifferent, cool, arrogant demeanor made him seem really awesome. But now that he's my boss, I realize he's cold-blooded and heartless in everything he does. His temper is unpredictable. When I first joined the company, the first plan I drafted didn't meet the boss's expectations. My colleagues and I kept passing the responsibility around, none daring to deliver the report to Gu Jinkans. Suran, you go. Didn't you say you're Gu's high school classmate? Said colleague Xiaomai. Colleague Suzu stamped her foot loudly, rolling her swivel chair between the two of us, in a low voice full of concern. She reminded us, Gu hates people relying on connections to get things done. Our former department manager was fired and cried at the company's main entrance, claiming he was Gu's university classmate and lived next to his dorm. Guess what Gu said? Xiao Mai's eyes widened. What did he say? Suzu raised her head and imitated Gu Jinkans, casting a cold glare across the office and saying sharply, Don't know him. Besides, this is a company, not a student union. Take him out. Xiao Mai bared her teeth shocked. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Better not say anything at all. Finally, with no other choice, I went to submit the report to Gu Jinkans. I lowered my head and placed the report on his desk. I dared not look up, only staring at his own feet. Time seemed to slow, and I felt like I'd been bowing for centuries. Finally, a soft voice called my name. Suran. I raised my head and forced a smile. Miss Yeo said, I've put all my effort into this report. Gu Jinkans raised an eyebrow. Don't you know me? Oh, here it comes. That quirky temper of his again. I heard him ask that before of our department manager, rendering him speechless. Manager, Miss Yeo, you're our director. How could I not know you? Gu Jinkans coldly glanced at him. If you know me, why bring this trash before me? Oh, it was painful to hear Gu call the report I'd painstakingly made trash, so I promptly snatched the report back. I know, Gu's standards are high and strict. I'll take the report back and revise it. From Gu Jinkle's perspective, Surin no longer recognized me. How could she not recognize me? How is that possible? I sighed as I watched her hurriedly snatch the report and flee, tears welling up in my eyes. Could a girl not recognize someone she once liked? Perhaps the high school love letter was just a misunderstanding. I opened my desk drawer and took out a pale pink envelope, worn and faded with time, like a dusty memory. Good Jinkles, look, that's Suran from the next class. She came to watch you play basketball. Doesn't that mean she likes you? I followed Suran's gaze in the crowd. She held a bottle of mineral water. Her skin was so pale it seemed to glow, her clear eyes as misty as the fog above a lake. When our eyes met, my heart was pierced by an indescribable ache. The basketball traced a perfect parabola in the blue sky and smoothly slipped through the hoop. I gave high fives to my teammates, unable to suppress my smile. Suran likes me. Oh, the weather is so beautiful today. Suran's pove. This damn weather. I should be lying on the sofa watching a movie, but now I'm nervously driving on the highway heading to Sidia. Rain still pelted relentlessly, drumming on the car windows. The wipers struggled to keep up. As I focused on driving, the phone suddenly rang. I answered. Shomai's heavy sigh echoed through the small car. Suran, I have bad news. You have to brace yourself and accept it. Speak quickly. Xiaomai, that contract sits. She swallowed hard, hesitant. The date in some crucial parts of the contract is all wrong. What? Xiaomai, hearing my shrill scream, she worriedly reassured me. It can still be fixed. We can correct the mistakes together. We don't start work until tomorrow. Don't scold yourself first. You can't be that late. You want to die? That exploiter named Gu is making me deliver the contract to Sidia. I'm almost at his hotel now. I'm dying from crying. What do you do now? Zoran, why don't you tell him you got into a car accident? Are you crazy? That guy's personality is so stubborn. He'd definitely insist I bring the contract there. What good would that do? What if he comes to the hospital to check on me? If I get found out, I'm done for. That exploiter Gu, although cold and unreasonable at work, the perks and benefits for employees are impeccable. The last time a manager worked overtime for 3 days straight and caught a fever, Gu personally visited, even handing him a thick red envelope. Xiaomai, yeah, think of a way to divert his attention a bit. How? Hello? Oh, my signal is bad. Hello? Oh, the phone made a few beeping noises. The eerie silence lingered. I wondered, is it heavy over there? Where exactly? Why did she want to ask me that? Could it be she wants to tease me like in high school? When I received her love letter, I was overjoyed and ran to find her at school. But when I arrived, she loudly explained to Jung Hawk, I'm not interested in Gujin clothes at all. After seeing that, Saran pushed me aside and hurried away. My heart felt like it had been shot through. I stood frozen, pale-faced. Jung Hawk patted my shoulder. Why does she have to explain to you? Does she like you? Maybe she just doesn't want misunderstandings. Oh, turns out Duran likes me. No wonder she often watches us play basketball. I thought she was spying on you. Looks like you just underestimated yourself, bro. John Huck's voice was loud. He didn't bother lowering it. The boys nearby laughed. Wow, the campus belle is yours now. Oh, they were childhood friends. They've had feelings for each other for a long time. Childhood friends? Never hated that phrase more than now. John Huck and Zoran are neighbors from the same community. Friends since kindergarten. I'm John Huck's desk mate. The two words I hear most from him are Duran. She studies hard. Everyone praises her sweetness in the neighborhood. She's the shining example of the community. I don't know how many kids got a beating because of her. But don't buy into it all and act. Saran is fierce when she fights. She doesn't hold back. Among the laughter of the guys watching, John Huck's face reddened. The class bell rang and we all returned to our seats. John Huck nudged my arm and whispered, Hey, do you think I have a chance with Duran? She was born after all. True, but she's fierce. I'm a little scared. How fierce could she be? Her skin's so pale and she smiles so sweetly. I can't imagine her acting all ferocious. Maybe that's her other side. Only letting the one she likes see it. John Huck flipped through his book, muttering, Damn, so many love letters, good jinkles. Next time, could you write your name on your desk so people don't send the wrong ones? My heart tightened. I took a big gulp of mineral water. The sour bitterness spread in my mouth. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't hold back. Turns out that love letter from Zoran was actually meant for John Huck. I should have handed it to him, but I didn't. I'm a despicable thief. I took what didn't belong to me and treasured it. I kept it carefully, occasionally taking it out to savor. This was the 1101st time I took out that love letter. I opened it. The ink of the name at the top was smudged black. 20. I love watching basketball games, but whenever you're there, I can't concentrate because I don't know if I want to watch the game or watch you. When Saran sent this letter, it happened to be raining heavily. I like the rain, how it washes away the name Ran Hawk on that letter. I let myself imagine that the ink blot originally wrote Gu Jinkle's name. Dude Jenkins, why have you been so long not answering your phone? John Huck's noisy voice sounded through the phone, and I hastily moved the phone away. What is it? Guess what? Say it quickly. I'm busy. John Huck, damn, you're so boring. Just wanted to tell you we're getting married soon. On the 8th, remember to tell Zoran too. You two are both in Shanghai. You can drive together. When you arrive, I'll treat you to a night out. I was a little annoyed. Inviting an ex-girlfriend to the wedding isn't very appropriate. John Huck was confused. An ex-girlfriend? Who? Zoran. Didn't you two date in university? I'd studied abroad for 4 years, barely in touch with old classmates at home. Once, I accidentally saw John Huck's circle of friends, and he posted a photo with the caption. The photo showed his back and a girl embracing him. She had long hair, wearing a long green coat and a white skirt revealing one snow-white ankle. That green coat I had seen Zoran post a photo of herself wearing it. I checked her profile and found she had just posted a status. A wildly happy weekend. I stared at it for a long time, then blocked and unblocked her and John Huck's friend circles. Who's dating Zoran? Oh my god, that made me mad again. You don't know, back in university, she once yelled at me shamelessly for over 10 minutes. I was so furious I wanted to argue back. I said she can't stand grapes. Then she said grapes are sour and made me mad. Guess what happened? My heart felt like caught on a hook. John Huck snorted coldly. She said the person she likes has been you all along. And you're 10,000 times prettier than me. Oh god, really humiliating someone like that. Good chickens, tell me, am I that much worse than you? John Huck kept babbling, but by then my head was buzzing and I couldn't hear any more. My heart pounded. Hands trembling, I gripped the phone and cut off the call. Years have passed. This was the first time I had the courage to look at John Hawk's friend circle. There was a strange girl, thick brows, big eyes, completely unlike my Duran. I quickly scrolled down and saw that from second year university on. She had been his girlfriend all along. What about Duran? I unblocked her circle and looked through it again. A hired hand is a hired hand. Anyone who works hard can succeed. Why do I have to work so much overtime? My mother says because I'm single. I have nothing else to do at home. Ha ha ha, she really hit the nail on the head. Another sleepless, lonely night. Luckily, I have work by my side. Ha ha. The image attached was a pile of documents and a bright computer screen. Lonely, sleepless. That's why she asked me if it was heavy. She wants to. Oh, I don't dare think further. My face flushed red as I nervously held the phone and replied. Duran pulled aside and stuffed my phone into my pocket, then grabbed my umbrella and got out of the car. Forget it, no matter how you look at it. If you raise your hat, you get hit. If you lower it, you get shot. If I get fired, so be it. That Fortic salary isn't much anyway. After all, I don't spend that much. A naive country girl like me has little use for high pay. Money doesn't mean much. Boo-hoo Duran, don't pretend to be tough. Fortic is a lot. Later I'll kneel and beg Jenkins for mercy. Will he forgive me? I shivered with fear and weakness. Trembling, I knocked on the boss' door. Fei Fei Fei. As soon as I knocked, the door swung open. So fast I wondered if Gu was already waiting behind it. I blinked. Gu Jenkins wore a white bathrobe, dripping wet hair making his sharp eyebrows even sharper. His aura was cold, like a 3,000-year-old glacier. Oh no, did he find out about the serious mistake with the contract? Was he waiting to punish me? Pale, clutching my documents, I looked up at him. Boss, please wait. Can you go easy on me? Gu Jenkins looked puzzled. In his eyes were feelings, anticipation, and something more intense. I could see in his dark eyes longing and desire. Longing? Desire? Oh, Gu Jenkins, you pervert. Was he going to scold me and fire me? My eyes reddened as I hugged my shoulders and walked to the sofa. I put the contract on the table. Boss, please let me explain. Gu Jenkins sat beside me. His body tensed, but he just softly hummed. I struggled to speak. This kind of situation is my first time. It's my first big mistake, so I'm not firing anyone. Training a good employee like me isn't easy. Please give me a chance. Unexpectedly, Gu Jenkins replied. This is your first time too? The first time firing an employee? Not possible. Perhaps it was the first time he'd seen such a childish error from an employee. Fearfully, I looked at Gu Jenkins and saw his face flushed, even his ears red. Oh no, he's so angry he's about to blow up. I've worked here half a year and never seen him blush. Always cold-faced even when angry, sometimes scolding that terrified my colleagues. Now his face was as red as a tomato. I wondered how furious he'd get. I quickly looked for a way to save myself, spotted a can of Coke on the table, and tried to flatter him as I offered it. Have a sip to calm down. Gu Jenkins hesitated, accepted it, and took a sip. He asked, Want some? This attitude seemed to soften. Thank goodness, we could still talk. I nodded eagerly. Sure, thank you, boss. He stood and went to the small bar in his room, poured me a glass with ice. I took a big sip. It stung and burned a little, spicy and fragrant with a hint of herbs. It was whiskey, which I almost spat out, but afraid to withdraw nearby, I swallowed with a frown. Drinking boldly, I guzzled the rest. Gu Jenkins looked surprised. You like whiskey too? I gritted my teeth. Might as well. It's quite smooth. To prove my point, I drank a few more sips, finishing the glass. Having both drunk, the tense atmosphere relaxed. Gu Jenkins leaned against the sofa cushions. His bathrobe slipped open, revealing his collarbone and firm chest. He was the type who looked skinny-clothed but muscular underneath. Thanks to regular exercise, his body fat was low and muscles shredded but not bulky. Oh, exactly my type. Back in high school, I often stared at his arms while he played basketball, entranced. Wait, what am I doing at Gu Jenkins' place with a knife nearby? Duran, focus on keeping your job. The rain outside shows no sign of easing. The wind and heavy raindrops battered the windows. Outside, the sky was pitch black, inside was deathly quiet. Yet that gave me courage. I quickly shifted position and leaned on Gu Jenkins' body. Acting spoiled. Boss, I really was wrong. You can scold me all you want, but please don't fire me after. Leaning close, I could see his pupils suddenly shrink. Gu Jenkins moved. He looked surprised and whispered hoarsely, "Do you like this?" Talking too much. Doing this will probably just be a salary deduction better than being fired. Understand? Spoiling him seemed to work. Gu Jenkins doesn't like stubbornness, huh? I blinked and obediently nodded. Yes, please give me a chance. Gu Jenkins suddenly leaned in and blew warm breath in my ear. Are you sure you don't know why my heart's pounding so fast right now? My body near him felt numb, bones itching as if hundreds of ants crawled up. Gu Jenkins' face flushed deeper. Want me to punish you? I nodded vaguely but not too harshly. I couldn't stand that. Seeing this was enough, I held up 3 fingers. Gu Jenkins stepped back a bit, blushing wildly, unable to believe what I said. He stammered 3 times. 3, I nodded. But it feels wrong, what the heck? I meant a 3-0 salary deduction, oh no. Did I get scammed? The money sense of a dominant CEO is so different from mine. I hope he didn't mishear 3,000 is 30,000. If so, I'd be eating the Northwest wing to survive. Worried, I stood up to sit closer and negotiate. But today I wore a tight-fitting dress. When I stood up, I stepped on the hem, lost balance, and stumbled into Gu Jenkins' chest. He quickly wrapped his arms around me. I looked up. Our eyes met. I saw my reflection in his pupils. Gu Jenkins spoke. Due to the awkward posture, Suran's shirt was stretched tight over her full chest, buttons popping off one by one. Her long hair cascaded behind her. Cheeks flushed rosy. She looked both obedient and a little seductive, breathtakingly beautiful. My nerves felt frayed, but this was our first time. I didn't want to rush. Physical touch could speak volumes, but I wanted to know more what she's done over the years. What she's thought, whether her messages were a long-held wish or just a passing impulse. I leaned back, gripping my fists, breath caught sweating. Suran tilted her head. Boss, are you hot? Meaning to turn on the AC? No, Duran. I have a question. I stared seriously at her. She sat up straight. All right, boss. Do you like me? Like I like you? From high school until now, unchanged? Why pretend not to know me these 5 months at the company? Why send me that message today? So many questions flooded my mind. After thinking, I asked her, why didn't you come before? Did you misunderstand like I did? Damn misunderstandings, I want to explain everything. I don't want nonsense like that between us. Duran looked stunned, then shyly lowered her head. I didn't know before, only today realized. I wasn't hiding it, I was just careless. That was completely unexpected, only today realized. Did she try to forget me before? That's why she avoided me until today? I felt a little lost but more joy and delight. A secret joy bubbled underwater, calling out quietly, rising to the surface. I couldn't help but smile slightly. Oh, Zoran and I are truly connected spiritually. I always said I liked rainy days. The raindrops pounding the old window seeped into my heart, making it wet and burning hot. I stared at the window long, deliberated, and finally dialed the driver to send Zoran home. Who knew she would? Zoran spoke. Boss, my face is full of worry as I nudged to Jinko's arm. Damn it, that scary smile, is he secretly mocking me? Does he think I'm stupid for realizing such a big mistake so late? Could he be planning to fire me? That absolutely mustn't happen. Trying for a soft voice, I reminded him. You said you'd punish me. Punishment doesn't mean firing, right? Gujinko's eyelids fluttered. His smile fading, his eyes stopped looking at me, his voice hoarse. Fine. I widened my eyes, holding my breath for him to say the number. Deduct 3,000? 5,000? Cruel capitalist, please show some mercy. In my hopeful gaze. Gu waved me closer. He then blew warm breath into my ear, rough yet gentle. His long fingers pinched my ear, teasing. I felt struck by lightning. My mind went blank. A tiny electric current traveled from my ear through my body. What is he doing? Gu lifted me, laying me down beneath him. Warmth lingered at my ear. There's a cinnabar mole on your ear. I've wanted to do this for 10 years. 10 years ago, I was 17, in 11th grade, still a minor. Wait, that's not the point. The point is, what are we doing? Gu Jinkins, what do you mean by this? He's using unspoken rules with me now. His soft lips gently closed over my ear. He nibbled and traveled along my jaw to my lips. In the moment our mouths met, I heard his satisfied breath. My heart pounded wildly. My hands and ear tingled. The hand pressed on my chest lost sensation. Every place he touched felt like it was on fire, electric currents running through me, shaking uncontrollably. My brain was ringing alarms. This is wrong. Get away from him. But my body refused to cooperate. Both hands wrapped around Durchinko's neck automatically. What am I doing? I shouldn't be hugging him now. I should slap him. My waist arched involuntarily, bringing me closer to Gu. I was nestled completely in his arms. Stop! Seriously, stop that waste. Shameless! Don't lure him! I gasped, moaned softly. I lifted my leg, cooperating with Gu's movements. Oh, that's good. Even I have to submit. What's wrong with me? How did this happen? Gu hugged my waist tightly, like he wanted me to merge into him. Suran, I really like you. Submit, huh? What are you saying, you jerk? Saying you like me? I lost control and resigned completely. My whole body stopped obeying me. Even my mind was now under Gu's command. Boo-hoo! I followed his every move. I forgot all else, oblivious to the world. No one can fool themselves forever. Liking someone for so many years, even if you don't admit it, feelings show in other ways. Outside, the heavy rain finally started to subside. I drifted into a deep sleep. I've never worked so hard in my life. Every cell in my body was exhausted, so utterly worn out. When I opened my eyes again, the night had fallen. My phone rang non-stop. I groggily found my phone and turned on the speaker. Hello? My voice cracked like a gong, startling the caller. Suran, what's wrong with your throat? Cough, cough. I'm fine. Xiaomai scared of that exploiter Gu. Is he really fierce? I get scared just thinking about him. What's the outcome? The arm around my waist tightened suddenly. I was stunned. When I reacted, I felt frightened. Xiaomai on the other line had no idea, continuing in a sarcastic tone. He deducted your salary. 3,000? 10,000? Could he really be firing? No way. Our good capitalist wouldn't do that. If things go south, just seduce him. I'm telling you, with his good looks, you won't lose, but he seems not to like women. I remember you told me last time he might be gay. Right, why is it that? Is there any sign from high school? Shut up, stop talking. Boo-hoo, scared. And she hung up hastily. Good turned, eyes darkening, lips pressed hard, looking at me. That exploiter Gu is gay. Haha, chill, listen to me. I waved my hand. Gu Jintons, don't pout. Fine, you talk. What? What beautiful words can I say now? Under his icy gaze, my head scrambled. Seeing him open his mouth to question, I quickly lifted my head and covered his mouth. Right, the wedding invite was stalled and diverted attention. Who knew we kissed and then started a playful struggle? I quickly removed my armor and opened the sword path to let the enemy in again. Suddenly, my stomach rumbled. Gu was still asleep. I looked at my phone 6 a.m. The outside was bright now. Xiaomai sent many messages. I've corrected the contract and the finance department stamped it. Hey, maybe you should go, Boss pleaded again. I glanced at the contract on the desk. Eyes lighting up. So clever. Suran had danced all night, but managed to successfully delay time, preventing good Jenkins from working. But this contract, I had to destroy it. As if nothing happened, I quickly grabbed some crumpled clothes and started dressing. Halfway through, I found all the buttons had come off, couldn't wear it. After walking around the room, I found Gu's diamond tie-pin. I quickly pinned it to the button area and tiptoed out of the room. I hurried back to Shanghai to get the contract. Then home to change clothes. Looking at myself in the mirror left me dizzy. Because of the heat, I chose a spaghetti strap dress. The exposed skin from collarbone to chest was covered in large red marks. My face flushed bright red as well. A passionate night with Gu Jenkins. How am I supposed to face him at work now? Holding the contract, I didn't want to hand it over to him anymore. Just then, Mr. Lee, our company driver, called. Monsieur, I'm really sorry. Yesterday, Boss Gu called me to take you to Cydia. But I had been drinking, I vaguely replied before passing out. Oh no, I screwed you over. I'll definitely get scolded by Boo. I felt a little relieved. That cold capitalist Boo isn't too cold-hearted. He even arranged for the driver to take me. No problem. I drove myself yesterday. Now come to my house and take the contract to Cydia. I decided not to mention yesterday's incident to the boss. After delivering the contract, a heavy weight lifted from my heart. I couldn't help but admire myself. Such a serious mistake, yet I handled it perfectly. Suran, you're truly incredibly clever. As for last night, let's pretend it never happened. Gu was surprisingly easygoing about us being intimate, definitely manageable. We're all adults. What's the big deal about being close? I cheered myself on. The next day, I went to work feeling refreshed and full of energy. Unfortunately, my good mood lasted only half a day. That afternoon, my department had answered the phone, his face turning pale as if someone close had died. He's not signing the contract. That contract was done by our department. Go, go. Everyone scrambled. Under the manager's urging, we frantically typed. I opened the contract on the computer and saw the important parts were coincidentally done by me. Manager Zhao clearly told me to adjust the exhibition hall design as requested by Partia. So why was the contract revised again? Then Manager Zhao pushed up his glasses. A cold light gleamed. What do you mean revised again? Did you not revise it at all? Didn't you check before signing? Suran, you graduated from a prestigious university but worked carelessly. Explain it to Gu when he arrives. My face turned pale. I didn't understand why Manager Zhao pinned the blame on me. Everyone is responsible for a part of the contract. After finishing, everyone submits to Manager Zhao for compilation. I sent him 2 versions, maybe carelessly. He used my old one. Now he wanted to blame me. My head was about to explode, but he wasn't wrong. I signed the final contract and sent it off. At the time, I was in chaos with no mind to review. I had to accept responsibility. When Gu returned from City A, he immediately called us to an urgent meeting. Everyone bowed their heads in fear, silently listening to his scolding. Who's in charge of the exhibition hall design? Manager Xiao stood quickly, pointing at me. Sir Ran did it. Boss, I'll punish her severely. Seeing me cowering, shrinking, barely daring to look up or breathe hard, Ku suddenly smirked, raised his hand, then lowered it sharply. No need to listen to the manager, just fire her directly. Alright, Suran, you've been here half a year but still make such basic mistakes. Her department will handle your firing. Chow that Gu. Please give Suran a chance. She usually performs well. This must be a misunderstanding. Xiao Mai tucked my sleeve and winked. Gu's dark eyes stared straight at me. He put his right hand on the table and lightly tapped outside. Xiao Mai gasped. Manager Zhao sighed in relief. Suran, go pack your things. My face turned pale. No way. He puts on pants and doesn't show any mercy. Such a heartless cold capitalist. Suran, stay. Everyone else left. Xiao Mai encouraged me, then went out with the others. Manager Zhao even awkwardly looked back at me as he closed the door. Suran, come here. Gu's expression darkened. I nervously clenched my fists and slowly walked toward him. You damn heartless man. Really that indifferent? As I approached him, about to speak, he suddenly grabbed me. I staggered into his firm thighs. When I sat on his lap, he hugged my waist tightly. Do you miss me? I panted. You were busy all day yesterday with contract discussions. No signal on the mountain. You didn't contact me on purpose, right? His warm hand touched my cheek. He brushed loose hair behind my ear. One hand held my waist. He lowered his head and kissed my lips. Suran, I missed you so much. My mind started to unravel. I struggled, twisting my body in his arms. Boss, that contract, it's not important. Don't move so much. We're at the company. Not gangsters. You even know we're at the company? I left the office blushing with a swollen mouth. Xiao Mai was shocked. After crying your face looks like that. Did the boss soften? I shook my head. No, it's so hard he hurt my butt. Xiao Mai looked ready to cry. So you're really getting fired? Probably not. Gu isn't firing me, rather. Manager Zhao's being transferred to Cydia. Same position, but no chance for promotion. Then I realized Gu must be venting his anger for me. Wasn't it just a one-night stand? Is he mixing work and private now? He's like a bear in heat, always looking for chances to be close. Anytime it's just the 2 of us, he pulls me onto his lap. Don't I deserve a chair of my own? I'm confused by this. Another weekend, Gu drove me back to Han House for Junghook's wedding. On the way, he suddenly mentioned Junghook's girlfriend had a green jacket exactly like mine in university. I sipped bubble tea and nodded. Right, Junghook borrowed it from Emlyn. Does his girlfriend have taste? She looks almost like me. But his taste in men is terrible. How could he think that? Gu laughed. Is that true? His smile turned bitter. Because of a jacket he lost so many years, the whole trip. He shook his head, sighed. I wonder what he regretted. The wedding was the next day. Joe Hawk specially invited longtime friends from high school for a reunion. When Gu and I entered the room, he suddenly placed a hand on my shoulder and shouted, "Are you insane, Gu Jinkons? What should we tell them about our messy relationship?" Sure enough, everyone stared in shock. Joe Hawk blurted, "You two freaks." Gu nodded, looking smug. "Let me introduce my girlfriend, Duran," John Hawk said. "You're serious? Didn't I miss your story in high school?" The classmates laughed. "That's 'cause you're dumb. Every time Gu plays basketball, Duran watches for him." Right, it's clear Gu likes Duran. His eyes are like headlights, always wishing he could stick to her. "I thought you two were together in university. Why only now?" John Hawk shook his head. "You two are moving too slow. Speed up." His fiancée laughed hard. Duran joked she had sent him many beautiful clothes and wedding flowers under the table. Gu held my hand tightly, smiling happily. "All right, thanks." That evening, after the party, we returned to the hotel. I was a little drunk. In the elevator, I struggled to pull away from Gu's hand. "All gone. Stop pretending." Gu looked confused. "Pretending what?" "Pretending to be lovers, boss. Why are we like this?" His eyes gleamed dangerously. He turned his head and kissed me fiercely. "Say it again. Are we faking being lovers?" He stepped closer, arrogantly pushing me against the wall. What do we really mean to each other? I'd never seen him so angry. His dark eyes burned like fire, like he could kill me if I answered wrong. My back broke out in cold sweat. The liquor wore off. Mustering courage, I replied, "We're colleagues who slept together once." "That's it." Wrong answer. Because I saw the killing intent in his eyes. He clenched his teeth, reached out, grabbing me tightly. One night. Then what have we been doing these past months? In this life or death moment, my mind became suddenly clear. I pieced together the past month, the moments between us. Gu said he liked me. Gu slept with me. Each day he sent morning and goodnight messages. He asked if I'd eaten. He announced to all classmates I was his girlfriend. Could Gu be thinking we were dating? In love, I've never dated anyone. Love isn't just mutual confession and acceptance. We never did that step. Does that still count as a relationship? Yeah, but being with Gu Jinkons doesn't feel wrong at all. I was still shy and hesitant. Looking at Gu's intense gaze, I felt even more afraid. At that moment, the elevator dinged, breaking the tension. Strangers entered. I exhaled. My hand slid down Gu's chest to his 8 beats, pinching him. "Boss, I dragged the last syllable. My eyes blinked. "Don't act like this. What if your wife finds out? Not good." People around widened their eyes watching us. Gu blushed deeply. When the elevator doors opened, he quickly pulled me out. Behind us, whispers came so handsome yet cheating. "That man? What a scumbag." I laughed triumphantly. Gu glanced at me. His eyebrows almost joined. "Duran, be clear. Earlier you acted a bit, but I didn't cooperate." I refused to say what I was thinking. Thank the heavens and the novels I read. That line was perfect. You cooperated. Gu looked at me and loosened his tie. Then he closed the door firmly. The room filled with vibrant spring atmosphere. Much later, Gu and I lay on the sofa watching movies. Talking about past misunderstandings. So many misunderstandings between us. We'd even reflected. You were really dumb. How did you miss those years? Luckily you took the initiative, or would still be waiting. Weren't you the one who initiated? I jumped from his embrace, serious look on my face. "Wasn't it you touching my ear and getting aroused?" Gu blinked dumbly. "Weren't you the one sending me messages first?" I was a little shocked. "What message? You mean when I asked if it was raining hard?" "If yes, I'd send the contract the next day. I told you it was work stuff. How can that be me taking the lead?" Gu raised an eyebrow. His deep eyes held unreadable meaning. He slowly smiled, raising his hand to touch the cinnabar mole on my ear. It was me, Duran. Thank you. Thanks for the undelivered message. Thanks for waiting in the same spot all these years. Thank you for giving me a chance to make it up to you." His words lasted a moment, but all the feelings he held for me were real.